director of the EJarrett House in Nashville, Tennessee, Miss EJarrett. And of course, Miss Jarrett, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you. And
to tell you, Miss Jarrett, how delighted we are to have you because you've been involved in a number of things throughout the city of Nashville and indeed throughout this region,
yes,
in a real sense. But in order to get into your new situation as the executive director of EJarrett House, let's have you to give our audience some information relative to your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in eventually leading you to the establishment of this house dealing with domestic violence.
Well, number one, I didn't establish it. It was already in, it's been in operation for 10 years now. But I worked in the healthcare field. I have about 40 years of experience. My degree is in healthcare. I worked at Access Health Systems for 17 years. Worked in Mahara for 17 years. So I've been a community person all these years. When Access closed down, they asked me to be on the board. And this is one of the organizations that we have started when Access was open. So I was a member of the board, and then I later became interim director, and now I am director.
Director of EJarrett House.
Yes, EJarrett House Incorporated, yes.
Let's look at some of the issues dealing with domestic violence and some of the reasons that you're here today to talk about domestic violence and such, Ms. Jarrett.
Domestic violence is still on the rise. 1.5 million women die every year, and that's according to what statistics you look at. Some of them count them as 2 million. And we were talking earlier, 800 and something thousand men witness or go through domestic violence. The reason why I have decided to come on your show is we need to put a different light on it. We need to include the men, because when the women go in shelter and they come out, well, the men are waiting on them. So while the women are in shelter, we need to do something with the men. We need to at least counsel them to see if they're amenable to staying in the family unit. If they are, we will get them help. So that's EJarrett's new mission, is to include the whole family.
And so in a real sense, the very, very fact of domestic violence is something that cannot be separated from men and women. And even though you might be able to shelter the woman, as you said before, she has to come back.
That's right. She has to go back out into that environment. You can keep her from 6, 8, 9, 10 months. You can even establish her working, put her in a house, but eventually he's going to talk her into coming back to him. So the violence will reoccur. And that's because we don't do anything with him while she's in shelter. So it would behoove